Whether you're making roasted potatoes, potato soup, mashed potatoes, breakfast potatoes, or plenty other things, knowing how to dice potatoes is extremely important. I'm going to show you how to do it today. Let's get started. Hey everybody, my name is Dennis, and over the past 10 years, I've spent literally thousands of hours researching nutrition and applying it to my from-scratch cooking. Last week, I talked about how to cut potatoes into French fries. Well, this week, I'm going to talk about how to cut potatoes into cubes, also known as dicing potatoes. And next week, who knows, maybe I'll talk about potatoes again. You'll just have to deal with it. I love potatoes. Before me, I've got a cutting board, a large sharp knife, and 2 potatoes, 1 medium, 1 small. Dicing potatoes, it doesn't really matter the size of the potato, so it's a great way to use up the small potatoes that aren't good for baked potatoes or French fries. I'm first going to demonstrate a large dice, and then I'm going to show how to do a smaller, more fine dice. So I'm going to start by grabbing my small potato here, and I'm going to just make 2 cuts. 1, 2, so I've got 3 pieces of potato. And now I'm going to set these down on their sides as such, and just make 1 cut along here, and along here. And now all of these, I'm just going to, with my fingers holding onto the potato and my knuckles guiding the knife, just make a couple cuts this way. And the same thing with the other 2 pieces. Making maybe 2, maybe 3 cuts, depending on how small I want that dice. And there we go. I got a bunch of little 1/2-inch cubes, and these are really good for potato soup or breakfast potatoes or other things that take up kind of a medium or a large dice. Now with my larger potato, I'm going to demonstrate how to do a fine dice. I'm first going to start by just cutting a sliver off of this one side. And this is going to let us set the potato on a sturdy side so it's not moving around when we make our fine cuts. Now I'm just going to go down this potato and make very fine cuts. Again, using my knuckles as a guide for the knife and holding the potato in place with my fingers. And I'm going for a very fine dice here that might be used for like a corned beef hash or something like that. And now, before I get to the end here, I'm going to flip it around so I can make some fine cuts on this side, because it's easier to make the cuts towards the center than it is when you get to the outside. So I want a place to hold on to. Now I'm going to collect these slices and kind of reform like a Frankenstein potato. And I'm going to set those aside and do the same thing over here. And this is going to help make the cutting a lot faster. I'm also going to use the side of my knife here to kind of press them up and make it easier, more even. Now just holding a lot of pressure on top with my fingers, and again, guiding the knife with my knuckles there. Just going to make some small cuts again. And keep everything in place because we're going to have to rotate this one more time to finish off the dice. And finally, now that I've got all my cross cuts done, you'll end up with something kind of like a French fry here. So now I'm going to take these and rotate them one more time. And holding my knife here, just kind of press it all up so that we get an even cut all the way around. And now holding down with my fingers as best I can, just kind of holding it all together, being very careful. I'm going to make my final cuts here. And there we go. We got a super fine dice that is great for corned beef hash or potato hash or any other kind of hash that you want to make. This will work really well. Or if you just want to chop the potatoes up real fine to hide them in something like a meatloaf or a stir fry. If you want to hide the potatoes, that's fine. I don't know why you would, but if you want to, there you go. Use these techniques for both large and small dices, peeled and unpeeled, and any variety of potatoes, whether it be golden, red, russet, whatever. It all works. And if you got value out of the video, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel for nutrition-focused cooking videos and kitchen tutorials just like this. And that's about it.